Hey, in this video I will show you how I made wooden frames for my paintings without using an electric saw. Sure, it might be easier to go and just buy a ready-made frame or order it from professionals, but unless you're a billionaire, you might need this video. I'm joking, it's just a budget-friendly option and it's totally doable at home. Maybe not the easiest way to get your paintings framed. So let's get started. I used such a wooden corner molding pieces from a building supply store. They are L-shaped with a 90-degree angled profile, which makes them perfect for building a frame that wraps around the edges of a canvas. To cut them, I used a hand saw with a meter box, perfect for cutting 45-degree angles. You also will need a ribbon clamp to assemble all the pieces together, sandpaper or a sanding sponge, wood glue, a staple gun, it's optional, and small nails. Let's say the canvas is 24 per 30 centimeters. I like to leave a small gap between the canvas and the frame, so I add 0.4 centimeters to each side. That's about 1/6 of an inch. That means 24 plus 2 times 0.4 equals 24.8 centimeters, and 30 plus 2 times 0.4 equals 30.8 centimeters. Before marking out our length, we need to cut one end at a 45-degree angle. So I fix the panel in place with clips and then we cut. No pressure needed, just gently push back and forth for consistent motion. And once it's cut, you should get a leftover angled piece like this. Now we measure out from that angled end that we just cut it. Measure 24.8 centimeters along the outer edge, the side that was standing upright while we were cutting it. Then we need to make a second cut and the angle needs to mirror the first one. It means that we need to use another slot for our saw. Here be careful, don't place your mark just near the slot. You need to place it like the line of the blade pass directly through the mark. This will make our cut more precise. As you already probably got it, the outer edge will be the front of our frame and will go around the frame, and the angled part will sit behind the canvas. So one piece is done. Now let's make the second piece. Take the molding corner panel that was left after cutting the first one and cut the first end to get that initial inward angle. I know it might seem like you can just make one cut and get a second piece because it's already angled, but trust me, how it's getting angled after cutting one piece, it's not what we need and we need to cut it again. So before cutting each piece, you need to cut an initial inward angle. Yes, you always will need recut the starting edge to reset the angle. Only then we can measure our length and cut the opposite end with a mirror angle. Repeat this for all 4 pieces. I made 2 at 24.8 centimeters and 2 at 30.8 centimeters. Now all 4 pieces are ready, but if your cuts feel rough, you can lightly sand them. Honestly, sanding sponges rounding corners a little bit, which we don't need, so I would recommend using regular sandpaper. Before gluing, I always do a dry fit, so if one corner is slightly off, we can sand that side a little bit. So I place all 4 pieces in a ribbon clamp and apply wooden glue to the corners. Tighten the clamp and wipe off all the extra glue. And don't worry if you forget, dried wood glue peels off easily. Now, this part is optional, but for me, it seemed like the inner edge looked too light, so I decided to paint it. With my previous frames, I have already tried to use oil for that, but honestly, it feels sticky and glossy if you use oil, so this time I decided to use watercolor ink. So I just mixed a brown color, approximately just using yellow, blue and red. But of course you can just go and buy some wood stain. I just find my own way is cheaper, especially that I already have watercolor ink. And it doesn't really matter if you're painting it before or after gluing together all the pieces because I just got this idea after I have already glued everything, but you can do it even before. Just maybe if you use some oil or acrylic paint, it will make the wood more sticky and then it will not glue very well together, but with watercolor ink is completely fine. Just make sure that the wood is dry before gluing. Then I felt like the canvas is sitting too deeply into the frame because my canvas is 2 centimeters thick, but the frame was a little bit deeper, so I decided to lift the canvas a little bit. To fix that, I cut small wooden blocks. I also colored them to match the frame, then put a little bit of glue and place them into each corner. And even before the glue got dry, I secured them with staples. It's optional, but I decided it will get some extra strength. And if the staples don't go all the way in, you can gently tap them in with a hammer. And now the final step. Once everything is dry, we can set paintings into the frames. Now we need to center it properly and keep even gaps all around the sides. To do that, I folded paper strips and put them in the corners. But don't repeat my mistakes. Don't cut the paper strips too short like this, because then they're really hard to pull out if they slide deep into the corners. Okay, then I flipped the frame and secured the canvas with small nails. I tapped in 1 or 2 small nails at each corner, but not directly through the joint. Place them just off the side to avoid splitting the joint. And I added a small hanging hook on the back. Since we lifted the canvas a little bit, there was a gap between the canvas frame and the outer frame. I inserted there a small leftover wood piece to fill it and support the hook. And then flip it back, and it's time to take out the paper strips. You can see me struggling with those, but I managed. So it's ready. I made 3 frames in total, 2 of the same size and 1 is larger. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Oh, and I even made custom title plaques. I used a polypropylene panel of a black color, cut it into small rectangles, and also printed my titles and my name onto the adhesive paper. And here is how they look. Now let's head to the restaurant where I'm hanging the paintings. It's a cozy spot in the Italian Alps with amazing food and a warm, welcoming atmosphere. Honestly, I'm super happy that my paintings are going to be here. So here you can see owners and staff commenting on my paintings, and we are deciding where to hang everything. Yes, I speak a little bit of Italian. Yeah, I guess here the blue tones of paintings look so beautiful against the warm wooden walls. I hope they make this space feel even more special. I'm proud of how it all came together. The wooden frames really enhance the artwork and match the cozy mountain vibe perfectly. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it inspires you to try making your own frames. It is totally doable, especially after a few practice runs. If you find this video interesting or useful, please leave a like or comment because my channel is quite new and I will really appreciate your support. It keeps me motivated. Thank you again and see you in the next video. Bye!